All right, all right, all right. So, give everybody some time here to get in. Got all sorts of stuff going on here on the screen that I didn't want to do. Yes, Alex, all the music from um, all the podcasts, that's all me. Every bit of it. Number one, it's a way to put my stuff out there that just sit around that I don't use. And number two, I don't have to worry about copyrights. So, Iris, say hello.
Good evening, everybody.
So Alex and Hero are the only ones here at the moment. Can you guys hear Iris? Okay, just want to make sure. Awesome, awesome. So Alex says, "Hello, Iris." Not our old Alex. This is a different Alex.
I figured.
So we're gonna kind of chill here for just a second. Um, it's a pretty lonely chat room. It's one of the reasons I got you, Irish, because I don't know how many people show up, so we got to have somebody to talk to. You know. So, um, oh, blame tag. Hello. He can't stay because he's at work, but he also says, Irish, thank you for the Reddit award.
Yeah, they're giving out those fucking things, so I got one, so I figured I'd pass it along.
What Reddit award is this?
I think I gave him a gold thing. I got someone gave me a bunch of fucking coins for some stupid reason, so I passed them on to Blame Tag
Yeah.
for one of his many satirical articles that he posts on Reddit.
Well, speaking of which, blame tag, if you can hang for just a second. All right, I'm going to share with everybody our little project that we did, if in case they missed it. So I get this message from blame tag saying, "Hey, can you like put some music to this?" So let me go ahead and introduce everybody to what blame tag affectionately called Karen Rising. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I did it at first. He sent me the song he wanted me to do, and then I did it, and then he was like, "Can you start it at such and such point?" And I'm like, "Sure," because it doesn't take long for me to do that stuff. So I sent it back to him, and that was the one he settled on. So yes, Alex, very ominous. Instead of release to Kraken, it's release to Karen. Hero says, but it looks like she's thanking him, not calling 911. That's because she was turned into the ultimate Karen at that moment in time. So it's great stuff. So, one thing I do want to talk about real quick. All right. So, um, you know, I've been kind of in and out with all the streams and whatnot. I was telling Irish and I think I told Blame Tag August we're going to fire everything back up. Full confession, I have been wrapped up in Tears of the Kingdom. Uh, Blame Tag, if you're listening, I've got well over 200 hours into it, and I've still yet to beat Ganon because I'm waiting to do everything else before I get there. That's the only thing I have left to do on the main storyline, and it's just been hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Tears of the Kingdom. So you can blame Nintendo for part of it. But what's going to happen is in August, our first retail Warzone back is going to be pretty important. This is an idea that we have tossed around. How long, Iris? For almost a couple of years now, right? Yeah. So we're finally going to have the spouses of retail managers um, episode. So I've got dates. Hero, I got you on here. I'm going to give you the dates that Mrs. Blametag can attend, and you can kind of look and see what your thoughts are. I know our new family member Poe, short for Poseidon, a beautiful white little baby boy kitten, who passed with flying colors today and now is officially part of the family, because he is free and clear. We'll have to have his genitals snapped. So I got to make sure we do that. What's up, Dom? Welcome. So, Hero, the dates we have so far: the 2nd, 16th, and 23rd of August. So pick one of those and let me know. Yeah, welcome, Poseidon. We have a cat named Zeus. She decided Poseidon was going to be the name, Poe for short, and that ties into the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because you walk around in the underworld and collect Poes. So he's ferocious. Hero says not the 2nd. All right, cool. So the one of the other 2 dates work for you? Because I think it's the 16th, and that's middle of the month, so we should be good, and we'll get that scheduled. And Irish and I were talking. I know. I couldn't remember. That's why I brought it up. But anyway, Irish and I were talking prior to going live about this. Now, Irish, kind of share your thoughts a little bit on, why we think this is a good idea. Is there anything else out there like it, and your thoughts on it? Hey, Irish, hold on just a second. Um,
Oh shit.
all right. Can everybody hear him now? Say something, Irish.
Hello, hello. I'm not sure where it got cut off there. Someone let me
I
know.
think you got cut off at the very beginning. Let me make sure. Okay. Heard. Oh, heard. Oh shit. No. Okay. Cool. I hit a button by accident, Irish. All right. So go ahead.
Oh, that was you. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead and start over.
All right, I'll start over. Good. I was rambling a bit too much. Anyway, look. I think it's important because we we discuss retail a lot here, and there's an awful lot in retail that has a negative impact on families. And I think although it could happen in almost any job, um, in retail, there's a lot of stresses involved because of the job. Like, as we've discussed here before, you become kind of married to it or addicted to it, and you bring that home. And I like to see it discussed because I don't think I've ever heard or read anything from the perspective of like a spouse or a family member on the effects of essentially working a job that will, you know, turn you into an idiot like I was, married to, an unfaithful job. I do think it's worth talking about to see the other side. It's not going to be pretty, by the way. I'm not going to come off on this looking good. Um, but that in itself is interesting, because I've done things because of retail that I probably wouldn't have done in other jobs, that impacted badly on my family, including, not spending time with the family, putting work first. I missed my boy's first birthday, all because I had to work,
Yep.
silly things like that.
Well, I
I'd
mean,
be interested here.
yeah, and I think it's a great idea to have the 3 spouses on with us in real time. I have no shame. Hero is allowed to say whatever she wants to say. I mean, I know how bad it was. I know how bad I was. I mean, I know how it affected me and whatnot, and it's okay. I mean, it's she's free to say whatever she wants, and I'm sure in your case, Irish is the same, and probably in Blame Tags as
Hmm.
well. And because we're not going to be hearing anything new. I mean, we know, you know, yes, you can say whatever you want as long as it's factual. And, and I think it's okay for us to get our quote unquote comeuppance, so to speak, because they've never had a platform other than, no, ketchup does not go on cheeseburgers. We're not going down that route tonight. Thank you for playing. Anyway, it's, they, that's what makes the episode important. And I wish it was a bigger thing. I wish it was something that, some national television show decided to, or news thing decided to dive into. We don't have to be part of it. That's fine. But I think if you really dug into like long-term retail managers talking to their spouses, that's going to be boots on the ground how bad it really affects the person in their life that has to deal with this every day.
Yeah, and like we're not going to be unique. I mean, there's a lot of occupations out there that will have serious stress. I mean, I imagine like if you worked in healthcare and you had to do shift work or in the police or military or many other things. And I'm not trying to compare retail to any of those jobs necessarily. But for the respect and pay that retail gets, it's a fucking mystery to me why we allow it to you know consume our lives to that degree. Um, and that's interesting. And I just and the reason I'm here after a couple of years of this podcast, still talking in the middle of the night here into a screen, is because you cover really interesting things that just are not available anywhere else. Pretty much nowhere discusses like what it's like to work retail, especially from a management point of view, in a podcast like this. No one else does it. I mean,
Nope.
there's Reddit is just a bunch of stories bitching about what having to work at all, or in retail specifically, and sharing funny stories and memes. But this is like the interesting stuff where you discuss things like this. What was it like for me, or to be living with me,
Yeah,
while it was consumed and and essentially married to a fucking thankless job.
exactly. Now I'm gonna go through the chat real quick. Dom barbecue sauce does not go on a burger. I just want to throw that out there. Mad Dog wins the chat. Ketchup goes on nothing. It does go on fries. That's about it. Oh, and it does go on fried pork chops. It does. It's a magical thing. Hero, in regards to the upcoming episode, says, seriously, I don't think it's talked about beyond the realm of divorce court, honestly, which is true. Alex said, we can make it a bigger thing. I can remember all the negative impacts on personal life when working retail. He also said, all those negative impacts are part of why I got out and why evenings and weekends are now sacred to me. Now, I still have to work nights, but the latest I work is 8, so I'm not there till 11. I don't have to be in charge when corporate decides, oh, it's the holidays, you're going to stay open to midnight, which makes no fucking sense at all because you don't do any business from 11 to midnight that's worth staying open. You spent more payroll than the sales you made. So that's some nonsense in itself. Weekends, I'm off on Sundays. I do work on Saturdays, but it's okay. What I'm doing is different. I mean, I work with a lot of people who may not like their job. Okay. I work with a lot of people who may be miserable doing what they're doing. And I fully understand because that might be the only thing they've ever done. I get that. But I do have a little bit more appreciation for what I do because it's going backwards and it's taking a break. It really is. And I've had people tell me, ask, have you ever thought about going back and doing it? And I told them, if the telltale sign, if I come in and my hair has been cut, y'all know I'm leaving, right? I mean, at this point, I'm letting my hair grow as long as it'll go, right? And if I walk into work and my hair's been cut, that a dead giveaway. Hero brought up no more clopins. Yes, that's a beautiful thing. No more clopins. Yes, there are days that we work to 8 o'clock and we turn around and have to be at work at 7, but that's not like getting out of there at 11:30, having to turn around and be at 7. You still have some time at home. A lot of that time for me, and Hero will tell you, we'll get off sometimes at 8 o'clock and I will come home and cook. I'll walk in, and stay in the kitchen. And it's okay because everybody's eating. It's family time and whatnot, and that's great. And but it's it's nice for me. I'm not in charge of anybody. I don't want to be in charge of anybody. But I sure as hell don't want people coming to me acting like I'm in charge of people and asking me to do supervisor things that I'm not getting paid to do. Um, None of us would like that. It's not specific to my job. It's anywhere. I mean, don't people don't like being asked to, take care of things that's above your pay grade, so to speak. Alex, no, I'm not going to be ZZ Top. That's not going to happen. One day, if I can ever figure out, because my forehead just gets shiny in these lights, one day I will actually have a stream where I have no hat. And you guys can see exactly how much hair I actually have. It's kind of frightening. But anyway. So what you got, Irish?
Well, not. I suppose to the forefront of my mind, I'm still thinking about the upcoming episode, if you like. I'm trying to think of where we touched it in the past. I mean, in a very old episode, one of the first ones. You remember we had the what keeps you up at night?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap there, I imagine, because like, it's those type of stresses that that I imagine my poor wife had to put up with. Stupid shit was keeping me up and still does from time to
Yeah.
time. Like you were saying off stream there, like it's hard to turn it all off. Like,
It really is.
like some of it just sticks with you. And look, I mean, I'm not blaming it all on retail. Like, it could happen in a lot of different jobs, but you know, for the reward that you get out of retail, it's a wonder why it happens. Um, yeah. But yeah, I mean, okay, on a different topic, because that is it. Inflation is beginning to bite ass here. The whole greedflation thing that we covered a couple of episodes
Yeah.
ago, it's really sticking. There's a lot of murmurs and talking and people complaining more than usual now about essentially how the cost of living keeps rising, and you know people just can't keep up. I don't know. I don't know how is in particular the youth are putting up with it, because they're finding it very difficult to kind of move out of their family homes. And I'm talking about people in their 30s, like.
Yeah. Real quick, Mad Dog put in the chat, I'm really ready to be done. I'm ready to go manufacturing, clock in, do my job, and go home. Yes.
Yep.
And I don't blame you. I mean, you've taken a couple of jobs. Look, Mad Dog, I've worked with you personally. All right, you're good people, and you're in a male-dominated industry. Let's face it. And to all the females out there, that makes you try harder. And when you try harder, it makes people look at you like you're overbearing or you're a bitch or whatnot. And that's not it. It's just a competition. The deck stacked against you. You've always been fair. Yes, you've been harsh, but you've been harsh at the point where you've been nice enough to get the point across and nobody listened. And then you had to flip that switch. So get out of it. I'm telling you, you'll be happier. You really, really will. The ability to do a job and go home is amazing. The ability for me to clock out and go home, yeah, I might get a text here or there about something. It's not a big deal with what I do. But it's not like, oh God, Susie called out. What am I supposed to do? Or, oh my God, this customer said, I don't have to deal with that shit anymore. And trust me, when you don't have to, you've got to do it. Once you do it, you'll understand. Once you get out, you'll feel it. You'll know immediately. And you'll be like, oh, well, shit, I should have done this a long time ago. You just make it work. And Alex says, well, and we've talked about this before, sometimes it's not even that you can't turn it off. If you're in management, you can get the call in the middle of the night that forces you back to the store. Yeah, the alarm went off or something.
Yep.
And then Hero said, I work around a bunch of folks that have come back home during college break that are like, I'm going to school for blank, but really have no idea what job I'm going to have or how to not come back home with my parents. That's kind of going along with the inflation thing. Now, one of the big things here in the States, Iris, was recently they talked about how inflation was easing, but at the same time said food prices were still going up. So, look, I really feel like as far as food goes, until there's some sort of government regulation or whatnot, or some company gets their balls busted because they're caught just gouging prices. It's a runaway freight train. They're going to keep doing it. One company does it, they get away with it. The next season, it says, "Oh, we can do that too," and then it's a snowball. I mean, there was a report that came out, Irish, is saying that food prices would not go back to pre-pandemic levels until 2026.
It's crazy. Like I mean, so much of it is just large corporations chancing their arm that that you'll pay. They see people still paying X, Y, and Z price for goods, and they just they're very reluctant to lower them. And until you have some sort of price war where someone just tries to grab more of the market by reducing their prices or something like that, that's the only way that's going to go. But they're all at a bit of a cold war, a stalemate, where they're just going, nobody move, everyone just enjoy this, the higher prices for everything.
Yeah, and I still stand fast in that 30% profit margin is fine. Anything over 30 is gouging. Because I believe that 30 is fair. What? Something costs 70 cents, you sell it for $1. I think that's decent. Sure. And because what happens is when stuff goes on sale, you lose that margin anyway. But anything above that, if you've got items in the places you work that are 40 plus points, man, that's a little bullshit, and it's a little high.
Well, especially when it's on things that are not really optional, food. I mean, fair enough. If there's a lot of things I could do without, and I probably should do without more of them, but I still opt in for for things I probably could cut out. But
right.
You know what? Like with food and power and light and heat and fuel, like those things you just have to get. And there's only so much of it you can blame on the pandemic, and there's so much of it you can blame on world events that we're going through at the moment. But I mean, it's just I just don't know what the breaking point is going to be, because we have probably one of the largest wealth gaps since the French Revolution.
Yeah, I mean, the wealth gap all across the world is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
and I think people misunderstand. It's not like people are saying you can't be wealthy, okay? But when you see the wealthy getting wealthier at the expense of the people that are making them wealthy, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I mean, but like it's. I mean, there are different types, I suppose. Like for me, I'm just talking personally now. Like, but I if someone becomes wealthy because they have made a product that makes the life easier, then okay, I can kind of that's a bit more palatable. But when it's like hedge fund managers, when it's people just gouging interest rates, when it's just people in offices that are screwing people in, like student loans is a big one over in the States.
Yep.
It's insane.
Real quick, Erica runs with razors. Finally got a Twitch account. Welcome. It's been a long time, ain't it? Good to hear from you.
I remember Erica.
How hot is it in Arizona? That's something too, Irish. How hot is it over there?
It's not hot at all, man. It's been raining for fucking like 3 weeks. It's we just get humidity and rain.
What's your average temperature today?
Oh, today, in Fahrenheit, I don't know what the hell it is in Fahrenheit. Probably in the 50s.
The 50s in Fahrenheit? We would
hang on a second.
We would figure that out, because Erica just, where she's at, 118 degrees Fahrenheit today, sir.
Oh, Jesus.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Erica. I believe you guys have set a record. So that's what, 20 days straight above 110? That's insanity. Yes, Alex, 118. And it's funny because I'm in South Carolina, and we're like, oh, it's so hot and whatnot. And I've had people complain like, oh my God, it's so hot here. And I'm like, you know, Erica, we were at like 91. I'm sure you would take 91 in the heartbeat over what you're dealing with now, correct?
It was 60 degrees today.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So in the summer, Irish, I mean, I know this year seems a little odd because there's these heat bubbles across the nation, across the world. But what's your average high in the summer? I'm just kind of curious.
Again, I'm gonna have to convert
I know.
here, but it's about
Wow.
27. Okay, 80 would be about like would be considered high.
We would
here.
all take 80 right now. And I just asked her, she's like, I said 91 here. 91 is the low for them right now. It's like 120 plus in like Death Valley. It's insanity over here.
Well, I am not built for the heat. It won't surprise anyone. But like that's insane. Like what we get over here that's uncomfortable is very high humidity because like I've been to the States. I've experienced 110 degrees. It's uncomfortable. But you're in most of the places I've been to the States, the humidity has actually been comfortable. But when you get high humidity and heat, oh Jesus, I can't deal with that at all. And the same with the cold.
Now,
Like
mind you, here's something interesting for you. So Texas and Arizona are facing this heat, and the governor of Texas outlawed water breaks for workers. Imagine that.
What?
Yes, look that up, Irish.
Oh man, this is like a like something out of Idiocracy.
It is. Erica said, if you ever want to know what hell is like in winter, come to Phoenix. And
Okay.
Dom says, I thought the 90-degree weather we've been getting is hot. I can't imagine 118. Yeah, for decades, the South could complain about the heat. We can't now. We need to be happy that we're 98 or under. Absolutely. I mean, and it's hot because, when you get that kind of heat, man, if you're outside too long, that'll fuck you up, man. That can kill you, like legit. So it's insanity. What's the water situation out like there, Erica? I saw the whole thing about the Saudis. I didn't really dig into it to see what it was exactly, but basically, I guess they stole your water. At a premium. But I can't imagine. I mean, that is so hot. Look, it's hot in my bedroom right now because when I do the stream, I turn the fans down and I've got these lights on. I am fucking roasting right now. But let me tell you, it ain't Phoenix hot at all. I'd have melted at this point.
That's insane. I just looked it up in Fahrenheit there. The hottest temperature ever recorded in Ireland was in 1887, and it was 91 degrees in Fahrenheit.
Hey, Hero, you okay moving to Ireland? I know somebody who can show us around.
Jesus.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you can do. I mean, you could do like about 300 days of rain a year. I don't know if you like that.
I'm okay with rain. Rain's fine with me. Here it's interesting because like the other morning we went to work and the sun was pink, right? And I don't know if it has to do with like all the smoke blowing in from the wildfires from Canada or whatnot, or Canada, as Caboose on Red versus Blue would say. But I took a picture of it with my phone, and then it wasn't pink anymore; it was white. And my family gives me such a hard time because I'm one of those quote unquote boomers that when I was younger, the sun was not white. It was yellow. I don't care what anybody fucking says. I'll fight you all. All right. And Hero just said, don't say it. And I just did. But anyway, yeah, it's gotten way hotter. And, we were standing outside in front of the building the other day to go to work. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was painful standing. I mean, the sun hurt. It wasn't like it was just hot. It hurt. And I'm like, oh my God. And you got these people saying that the poles are about to flip, and, you know, they underestimated the sun's activity this year, and it's an active sun instead of a non-active sun. And we're all just getting like microwaved at this point in time. So Irish, be happy. And Hero says, oh, y'all, Steve plus heat equals awful. Steve plus heat is the worst combination. The only worse combination than Steve plus heat is Steve plus sick. I hate the summer. I hate it with a passion. I am fair-skinned. I burn. I mean, if any of you here, like if you saw me in pants and I pulled my pants leg up and you saw like my shin, it would blind you. I'm that white. So continue, Irish.
Well, the one thing I will say, weather related, my wife does miss the seasons because we really don't have, like, we don't get extreme weather over here at all. You know, it's not that hot, it's not that cold, it's just kind of meh the whole time. So, you know, it's but you know, those extremes, Jesus, I actually I don't think I'd survive it. My body is not built for that.
Well, yeah, so we've got some shade getting thrown at me right now. Hero says his anger index goes up with his core temperature, and then Erica says pasty Caucasian, yes, and then Alex is like, oh God, Steve plus heat plus sick. That must be awful. It's very awful. I mean, I hate it. I mean, I'm a huge Him fan. For those of you who don't know, the band is called Him. H period, I period, M period. It used to stand for His Infernal Majesty, but there was a song called Behind the Crimson Door, and the line that I enjoyed the most was, when summer is killed by fall. That's my life. Bring me fall, because fall is cooler, and fall is football, and life is good. This summer shit, y'all can have this nonsense. Fuck this. It's awful.
Yeah, well, look, like I said, we do not have those extremes here, so I guess you know, I'll definitely I'll take that one. In fact, you win. That's
it's
I don't know,
Irish. It's awful. I mean, it is awful. I mean, it's and heat here. Erica actually posted this right now. People's rage index is crazy out there this time of year. People's brains overheat. Yes, heat makes people angry, and it gets worse here in the States. I mean, there's more violence, there's more Karens, there's more anger. It's like everybody pissed off because we're all getting microwaved, and they take it out on whoever is closest to them. Literally, heat is like the anger switch here. It's ridiculous. And I'm hot right now, but I'm not Erica walking around in shorts and still scared she's going to die walking down the streets of Phoenix. I mean, you know, it's like, I can't imagine 118 degrees. I would die. I'd just fall over and give up.
Oh, that's crazy. And you know what? It catches me at night too, because I remember when it is that hot over there. That I mean, I'm just like this idiot Irish guy. Like, I mean, I did stupid things. Like, I opened the window and it got worse.
Yeah.
I was like, that's something that's like, that just makes no sense to someone like me.
Yeah. Oh, welcome, maiden. It's been a long time since we've seen you. Hope your job is going well. And she says, I don't want to be invited to anything that doesn't have air conditioning. I won't go. Oh, and Blaine Tag says, I'm sweating balls in the store right now. I can only imagine how hot it is there, because I know it hadn't been great there either.
Oh, yeah.
And then Hero says, I mean, we don't really have a huge difference here, Iris. We have boiling, burning, hot, cool, with hot midday, cold with hot by evening, hot with rain, and icy snow melted by heat. Wow.
All right.
Alex says, I experienced a dry 110 in Vegas. That wasn't bad. It's when it's humid that I die. Yeah. Erica says, thinking about setting up shop in a wind cave like the tribes did. Hey, get rich. Go do it. She also said Q Megadeth sweating bullets. Yes, just sweating. Period. Sweating bullets, sweating hair, sweating armpits. We all sweating right now. Irish, you got
So,
it made.
you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely. I feel like I won something here. That's. But come here, go back to that thing in Texas. So, why on earth would somebody outlaw water breaks?
Because it's capitalism, buddy. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on. We'll get this going here. Let's see. Abbott bans. Oh, what the hell? I spelled that right. It bans water breaks. Hold on. All right. So Greg Abbott overrides worker protections, taking away water breaks from construction workers in order to regulate business across Texas. Though the law doesn't go into effect until September 1st, 2 workers have died of heat-related illnesses since it was ratified, underscoring its potential impact.
What is the benefit of that?
I don't know. I guess keeping people working instead of them drinking water. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. It says, I mean, this is like nonsense. Texas governor signs bill rescinding water breaks as deadly heat grip state. This is from June 24th. Let's see.
That sounds like something Blame Tab would make up.
I know, right? Yeah. It says, the measure, which will take effect later this year, will nullify ordinances enacted by Austin and Dallas that mandate 10-minute breaks for construction workers every 4 hours. It also prevents any local governments from passing similar worker protections. It was an omen of what could come after HB 2127 takes effect in September, wrote the Texas branch of the AFL-CIO union, referring to far-reaching law that could not only curb cities' right to enact worker protections, but a number of labor, agricultural, natural resources, and finance measures. Banning required rest breaks for construction workers in the Texas heat is deadly. I mean, and somebody says, in the midst of a record-setting heat wave, I could not think of a worse time for this governor or any elected official who has any kind of compassion to do this, said David Cruz, the communications director for the League of United Latin American Citizens National, a Latino civil rights group. This administration is incrementally trying to move us backwards into a dark time in this nation when plantation owners and agrarian mentalities prevailed. Yeah, and see, 6 out of every 10 construction workers in Texas are Latino, and labor advocates say that the law will hurt Latino and black communities that are already disproportionately affected by extreme heat. Yeah, so that's what's going on.
I mean, I'm speechless. I mean, I'm just struggling to think of the logic behind it. Like, it's just like, I think Blame Tag put up something. Yeah, some idiot in an office there has seen the spreadsheet that said, like, if employees are spending 5 minutes a week, drinking water, we can get 5 minutes extra out of them, or some shit like that. And it's just, that is insane.
It's crazy.
I wonder,
especially think about the heat that's going on here right now.
It's probably not even going to hold up in court if someone drops dead because of this. They're going to have a case.
And Blame Tag says, what was this? Blame Tag had this. Let's see, where was it? They probably have a graph that says employees are 1.2% less productive if they can stop to drink, and that is the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but Amazon got in trouble for that. I think, weren't employees like pissing in bottles and stuff like that?
They still are. They still are.
Jesus Christ! But it's crazy. Like, no, it is the case in some stores over here where it was like frowned upon to not be moving. Sometimes you can be, sitting at a checkout scanning items and standing at a checkout scanning items. One was right and one was wrong in their eyes.
Right.
I don't really see what the issue is. Like, I know over in the States you have Aldi, which are German. I mean, they allow their employees to sit down because it doesn't make a difference. And actually, you probably get more productivity out of them because they're not like, their back isn't in as much pain or whatever. I don't know. There's just this weird thing with the optics of sitting down equals lazy.
I would like to give Blame Tag some shine here. He posted, "I love that I'm the standard now." Quote unquote, this looks like something Blame Tag would say. Laughing
Yeah,
faces. It's true.
it's a litmus test. But like I mean, the irony of someone coming up with this shit, who was sitting down in an office drinking water, you know,
Well, I think Erica nailed it. She just posted, when workers drink water on the job, they have to take more bathroom breaks. That what it really boils down to. Look at Amazon and their potty break authoritarianism. I think
yeah.
she's right there.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that, but this is where like they're forgetting the human. Like, I mean, has AI already taken over this shit? Like, I mean,
No, no,
just
no.
we're not fucking machines. Like,
Honestly, I think AI would take care of humans better than humans would at this point. The way it's going. I mean, honestly, and you bring up AI once again. I want to say this, and I want to have this documented. I mean, it's on the interwebs for everybody to see for however long it stays up until they take it down. Okay, we talk about a business that is so hard to work in, all right? But all the jobs that the people have that belittle retailers are going to go away because AI is going to take them over. And I can't imagine a world where the jobs we complain about so much and how hard it is become the only jobs for people, because AI is not going to be a stalker. AI is not going to run self checkout. AI is not going to be a cashier because everyone's going to get pissed off about self checkouts everywhere. AI is not going to unload trucks. AI is not going to separate trucks. It's crazy. So it's almost poetic justice in a way that there's a lot of people in this world that we will need to work. That when AI comes and swoops in and takes their high paid job, they get to come work with us. Come on, bitches. We'll make this fun.
it's just like I don't know, man. It's just like like stuff like that. Just it's just strange. I don't know where exactly it comes from. But you know, I know of I've worked in places where managers were obsessed with staff looking busy. And like, you know, so whenever the manager was on duty, like, you know, you had staff just running around, you know, wiping shit down that was clean and sweeping up nothing, and all, and it was, none of it was productive, and in fact they were
Well,
missing also, you know.
that comes actually from a pre-boomer generation. If you've got time to lean, you got time to clean. All right, that's true. All right, true. But at the same time, you have managers that the reason they act that way is because they want to be in power. You have managers out there who get pissed off because maybe two people want to work together or something and they don't like it. It's not that the two people working together aren't being productive. It's just they didn't make that happen. There's a whole laundry list of things about managers that want to have power or perceived power, and it's nonsense. It really is. I mean, that whole, making everybody look busy, what difference does it make? At the end of the day, all that matters are the sales, really. And if your store is recovered for the morning, coming up, I just, and that's something that I think. Here's going to be the interesting thing about retail managers going forward. When we get into younger generations, millennials, we're coming out of Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, or whatnot. Those managers, when they get promoted, are going to be more employee focused, and that terrifies the industry to its core. They can't wrap their head around that. They can't understand that you're going to have younger people coming into management positions that are going to be pro labor, and they don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, I agree, and just wait until, I mean, the people that occupy senior HR positions tend to be pretty on the elderly side for the
Yep.
workforce. Wait until they get in there, but that's where
Oh
that's where the
yeah.
shit comes down from. Like,
When
um,
millennials and Gen Z get into HR, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's where unions are really going to take. We're still a little bit of ways away. There's still too much old blood and old power, but they're going to die eventually, right? Somebody's got to replace. When the millennials and Gen Z take over, HR is going to change the game.
It is. I mean, just going back to the different types of managers there. I think we discussed. Oh, I don't know how long ago now, but what terminology did we use? It was where you're kind of just you're covering for managers all the time. So I was a fixer. That's what we called it.
Yeah, well, the fixer.
Yeah, so I did that for quite a while. So it was interesting because you got to go and see like lots of different like stores where the staff have different types of managers, and the managers I don't know what term you would use, but the ones that were just obsessed with the staff looking busy, they had the worst staff. They were fucking useless.
Yep.
Like I've been in stores where like I go in and everyone's just like sweeping up and looking busy as soon as I appear, but like there could be there could be stock on that needs to be faced off, or there could be a queue at the checkout, and they wouldn't even see it because they're just obsessed with like just appearing busy, and it's just like it was so stupid.
Real quick, Blame Tank says, "LOL, I think millennials are a little older than you're thinking they are." Nope, I know how old they are, but when you get on the younger end of the spectrum, that starts rolling into Gen Z, and that's where everything's going to come unraveled. And as Mel, welcome, good to see you. Been a while. I'm glad to see that I was the one who put out the bat signal saying, "Has anybody heard from Mel?" On Twitter. Yeah, because I hadn't seen anything from you for a while. But older millennials are in their early 40s now. So yeah, so at that cutoff is where things start to change, and it needs to. And and look, I mean, this is a tangent, and this is weird, and everybody's going to think that Steve's lost his mind, but it correlates. So, for a lot of you that have been involved with the war zone, all these, you guys know I'm like real big into the UFO thing and the UAP thing, right? Well, there was a theory floated around recently about why we're moving in legislature to declassify things and whatnot. And the reason, one of the predominant reasons was when you get to millennials and Gen Z and younger, these are the people that are going to inherit that data if it exists. And these are the people that believe everybody should know. So I think a lot of what's going on in this world right now is we've got a younger generation who's fed up with all the bullshit. They want to clear the air. They want to say, this is what we have. This is what's going on, whether it be retail, whether it be grocery, whether it be corporations, whether it be the Department of Justice, whether it be the intel community. These are the people that are going to inherit all this stuff. And they've had enough of the bullshit. And when they collectively get together in all these different areas, the floodgates are going to open because they feel like the truth hasn't been told through all of this, and they're going to tell it. And I think that's where we are right now with society, and I welcome it. Bring it. Let's go.
Yeah, I concur with that. I think, I think the generation coming up, or the one or two of them actually, they're more kind of human focused. They're just more empathetic. I think they haven't bought into the same sort of sociopathy that occupied most.
I think that
corporate shit.
I think they understand the abuse, and the reason they understand the abuse is what they went through as a child with their parents, who were bought and sold by these different businesses.
Yeah, which is a nice segue back to what we were talking about at the beginning, which is like
you know, our spouses that witnessed us do stupid things to ourselves for very little reward. You know, I mean, a lot of them have grown up in households where their parents were not there emotionally or literally because of fucking work.
Yeah. And, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, this is why I love what we do, because, you know, we wind up going on tangents and whatnot, but at the end, we wrap it up in a nice little bow. And you just did that, which is great. So we're sitting at 52 minutes. Now, as everybody's aware, you know, all the audio stuff from the Retail Warzone goes to Spotify. But I'm going to do something a little different tonight. They're really experimenting with video podcasts. So tonight, I'm actually going to load this up in its entirety as a video podcast just to see what happens. It'll be the first time I've done that, just to see. The Retail Warzone will reappear in August. You know, hopefully by then I'll be done with Tears of the Kingdom, which is great. And, you know, we can get back to rolling. But one thing I want to throw out there, I had mentioned this on Twitter. So also with all this stuff that's going on, I'm getting back into quote unquote recording original music. I haven't really done it yet. I kind of messed around with some stuff the other day, and I've been going around and downloading software and stuff like that. So if any of the community are singers or writers and you have an idea that maybe nobody else is working with or whatnot, you know, say, hey, you know, I've got an idea for a song like this or whatnot, and I want to sing it, let me know. Shoot me a message. I'm all over the place. I'm not restricted by genre. The only thing I will not do is country or hip hop or rap. Those are the only three things I won't do. So if you've got something and you want to mess around and send stuff back digitally via email and whatnot, that's be cool. So it's we can do this digitally. We, you know, nobody has to be here with me. If you've got not even Keith Urban's Dom, I don't do country at all. But, you know, that's the beautiful thing about technology, is if there's an idea, we can do it from, you could be on the other side of the world. It doesn't matter. We can send files back and forth and make it happen. And Dom says definitely some Nickelback. No, but hey, Creed announced today they're reuniting and they're going to do a cruise. So there's going to be a Creed cruise. That could be cool. So there's that. So having said that, it's been, yes, Erica, we can collaborate. You don't have to be here. If you have a way to record vocals, we just send files back and forth. That's how I've done it for years. So that's how it works. So there you go. But having said that, Irish, I'm going to give you closing comments for the evening before we get out of here. I want to thank everybody for being here this evening. This is kind of like knocking the dust off of the machine, so to speak. August, we're going to go back full bore. Probably 1 to 2 war zones a month, and then, you know, 1 to 2 therapy sessions. So that's where we're going to be. So Irish, I will leave it to you to close us out.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us again. I would just like to encourage everyone to tune in for whenever the date is set for the episode with the spouses, and give a warm welcome to Mrs. Irish, or whatever she wants to go by, because to say I twisted her arm into this was an understatement. So she's
Right.
she's nervous about being live and all that sort of stuff, but I think I've convinced her now. So give her a warm welcome when she does appear.
Yes, and I will go ahead and Hero says always be hydrating here in the United States. Yes. And then Erica says drink your effing water, quote unquote, if allowed. There you go. Dom says thank you for your time tonight, Irish.
No problem.
Yeah. So having said that, Mel, it's good to see you. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you showed up. By the way, I've been addicted to Temu. I've bought all sorts of weird stuff. I'm going to show you some stuff real quick. So There was this microphone that was on sale that was like a knockoff of like a $2,000 microphone. It's okay it wound up paying $31. This is it. It looks legit. It looks like a $3,000 microphone, but it does not perform as such. But it's for $30. It's good. And then I also, video's not sponsored, correct, because I don't have a sponsor. I bought a Nightmare Before Christmas pocket watch, which is actually kind of cool. It took me forever to figure out how to make it work. That's pretty rad. But anyway, yeah, there's a Temu addiction in my house from me. It's not Hero. She hasn't got into it yet. When she does, it's going to go crazy. So having said that, everybody, have a great evening. Thank you all for being here this evening, and we will see you next time. And peace out. Take care of yourselves. Stay out of the heat. Stay hydrated, and I'll let you know what's going on soon.